All right, you bunch of yahoos, strap yourselves in for another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity.
In other words, shut up, sit up, and pay attention.
Well, what the hell are you doing there, Butterbean? Yeah.
Man, I'm actually getting ready to have one last fight. I mean,
Oh shit.
yeah, I went through a bad spell where I was injured. I couldn't walk, and I couldn't walk for 3 years. I was like stuck in a wheelchair for 3 years.
I was stuck in
A
a
little bit,
for a
a
year.
little bit over 3 years actually.
That sucks, didn't it? That was the worst fucking thing in my life, man. Jeez.
I'm telling you, I was basically stuck. I was over 500 pounds. So I couldn't do nothing, and went to DDP. Lived with him for 4 months down there and shot a reality type show, like a docu-series, like Jake the Snake, and lost a bunch of weight and had hip replacements and got stretched enough to be able to have hip replacements because they didn't want to do it because I was too bound up.
Yeah. Yeah, I got plenty of exercise when I was in a wheelchair because my ex-wife stole the electric gate motor and arm, from the gate. So I'd have to drive up, crawl out, get the chair out of the back of the truck, wheel over, open the gate.
Yeah, I was lazy. My chair was electric.
Oh shit! My road's not even paved either, so I'm bouncing. Fell out a couple of times and crawl back up.
I can visualize that.
Yeah, so I got plenty of exercise. She was always there for me,
Right.
Oh my God! So I mean, literally, how long did this transplantation take place there, Eric? I mean, it's
well, I mean, in order to have the hip surgery, it took about 4.5 months. I mean, I lost over 80 pounds in 4 months.
Really,
And I lost 60 pounds prior to going there.
Jeez.
Yeah, Dallas called me. Dallas called me, Bean, don't lose no more weight because I want you to lose it on, while we're working with you. And I'm going, you can go piss off. I'm going to lose as much as I can, and I'm going to lose more when I get there. And I did.
Wow. No, I mean, I've heard a lot of good things that with what he does with his yoga program and stuff like that.
It's amazing. Really, I mean, it's like I said, it's got me back to where I'm gonna have one last fight. I'm right around 300 pounds right now. I've never been this light.
Wow.
Damn.
Well, if y'all call 300 pounds light, but for me, 300 pounds is light. So I say 90% of my fights happened at 360.
So are we going to have to take in the Stars of Tripe trunks right there on you to pull in the?
Oh, we'll have to pull the drawstring in on them things. It's big time.
The old glory battle flag they had over Fort Sumter.
Yeah, I got a belt that I had when I went to Dallas's. By the time I left, me and one of the trainers was able to get in the belt.
Wow, that's impressive. Jeez.
I lost a person.
Yeah.
Wow.
A 200-pound person at that.
Damn! Congratulations, partner. Jeez.
Okay, yeah, what they do on the hip? Did they just do one hip, or did they do both hips?
No, I had to have both done. And both of them were really the surgeon in Atlanta said it's the worst he's ever seen. He worked on a lot of people, Scott Hall, Jake the Snake. He worked on a lot of big name wrestlers. He says the worst he ever seen.
Well,
but now they're fixed. I'm good to go now.
Yeah, I may have to get a name from you because I'm having I'm having a right hip issue. So
I'd get it done before it got to where mine were at. Because I was bent over, I couldn't stand up. I mean, you see me down. I mean, I was bent over, I couldn't stand up.
Right.
I'm standing. I'm tall now, a lot taller than I was.
Well, Dan's bent over and he walks, but he's looking for change,
I used a cane first, and then they jerked me out of a chair at an airport in Michigan. On top of all that, and crushed some vertebrae, and then I was in the wheelchair, and then it just all fused together and got worse and worse.
Well, how'd they loosen up the vertebrae, or was that just doing with the yoga program with DDP?
Well, the tendons and all the muscles got really tight around the hips.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, like if I laid on my back, my feet were 2 foot off the ground. You couldn't push them to the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean they were fused. The doctor was leaning. His feet were off the ground trying to dislocate my hip. That's how bad it was locked in there. His feet were hanging off the ground. He had another assistant pulling him down to pull it out of socket.
Yeah.
Hell, you
Well, no,
I
I'm
just had that on videotape. That'd
should have got
be
a
awesome.
veterinarian, man. Shit.
Pretty much.
Well, how long were you there at DDP's place?
Almost 4.5 months.
So you lost 80 pounds in 4.5 months?
Yeah, right at 4 months, I lost over 80 pounds in 4 months.
Wow.
And then I went back just recently. As a matter of fact, I think week after next, I'm going back up there. If he's in town, I'm going to stay with him for another week.
I mean, does he have just a big enough home with a couple extra bedrooms, or does he have?
Well,
Does he have
sleep
only got about
together.
8 extra. He's only got about 8 extra bedrooms.
only 8 extra bedrooms?
Yeah.
I thought you all
Dallas,
bunked
I owe
together.
Dallas a lot. He helped me so much. It's not even funny how much he helped me. And now he's got these new power cuffs coming out that's really helping my arms get bigger. They basically cut the flow of blood leaving your arm. It lets the blood flow go in your arm, but it makes it go out slower. So it's getting better oxygenated blood going into your arm, and it helps your muscles and everything build quicker and faster. They are seriously awesome. They're awesome tools to work out with.
Do you use oxygen when you work out too? You know,
No. I use Boss Rutan's oxygen defector.
his.
It takes away the oxygen.
Uh-huh. What kind of exercises does he have you do there?
It's a lot of yoga, basically stretching and like just keeping stuff moving. You know, like a rusty bolt. You gotta keep it moving, or it's gonna stiffen up and not move.
Okay, but I mean, that would be like a recipe that you would almost recommend to any of the senior citizens inside the United States or
Anybody.
worldwide anymore, because I mean, especially Americans, we're a very sedentary society. We tend to sit around and do everything, chit chat, this, that, the whole 9 yards, watch all these athletic events. So activity is not all that abundant. So
So true. Yeah, he's got a 78. He might even be 80 now. Guy that he can do the full splits. He can grab his foot and put it over his head. That old man is just so flexible now because he does been doing yoga for years. It's insane what he can do.
are you talking about DDP himself?
No, one of the guys that does his program on
Oh,
a
okay.
regular basis.
I didn't think he was that old. I'm thinking, oh God.
No, Dallas is in his 60s, but he can grab his foot and put it over his head. Dallas is really, I mean, he's got some. I mean, he could still wrestle if he chose to. He could still go out there and do it. He's in unbelievable shape.
Well, again, I've heard nothing but good things about all his DDP program, but from quite a few different people. They've gone through it.
Your hip may not even need the surgery. It might just need a little bit of Dallas.
No, Dallas love and the whip. Yeah, my buddy Jeff, his daughter is a physical therapist, and it's to the point where it's not just doing physical therapy after surgery. They have you do it instead of a surgery, and it'll repair. So that way you don't have to get the surgery.
Right? Yeah, it's
just
there's only
therapy,
if you have to have it, you have to have the surgery. Like my hip, there was no nothing they could. They had me on a. It was funny that when I first got there, they had me on the vertical table, where you stretch yourself out. And Dallas is pushing my chest down, trying to make me go straight. And there wasn't no going straight on that.
Yeah.
My hips were beyond any like fixing with that. But yeah, certain cases, yeah, if you do the yoga type stuff with that Dallas has, and he hates it being called yoga.
Oh, I know, yeah. He's always referred to it as yoga for men, but it's whatever. I mean, he just he calls it the DDP program, right?
DDPY program, yeah. If you do that, it's going to help anybody. I don't care what your age is. And he's got from beginner starting sitting down in the chair like I had to do because I couldn't walk in the beginning to, full blown mat workouts.
No, that's fantastic. I
Where's he
mean, it just
located
gave,
In Atlanta, Georgia.
Looks like Dan Severn will be going down to Atlanta here.
It's a good idea, Dan. If you need to at least reach out for him, and he'll help you out. I mean, he's helped so many people. It's not even funny. He saved Jake's life without a doubt.
yeah,
Because
no,
Jake was,
I had a chance to see Jake, and it's phenomenal what he did for him.
but yeah, my plan on having one last fight just to say that look, I come back from where no man could come back from before.
Where did that come about? When did this opportunity pop in your head, or did someone talk to you about it? They're just saying that being you're getting into some good shape. What about one more fight? I mean, was it your
Well,
idea,
no,
somebody else's, or?
it come into my idea because I was feeling so good. I was just feeling I'm feeling awesome now. I mean, like people take for granted getting out of your car and walking into a store and just buying a bottle of water. People just take that for granted.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
I mean, when you can't do it, then you're able to do it. Then you're able to get around. You're able to run. You're able to do stuff. I said, I can do it. I look at pictures for me from 4 years ago. I look 10 years younger now. I mean,
Nice.
it's like when you were a kid, all those old men tell you health is everything. Health is everything, and you don't realize it until it's gone, and you're like, son of a bitch, some old bastards are right.
But I'm feeling unbelievable. So
who you gonna fight?
we don't know yet. I've already turned down 3 major names. So it's I'll let you know first.
You turned down many majors?
Yeah.
He'd be a safe fight for you.
He would be a safe fight, I believe so.
He's only worth $3 million now, or 2.8.
I got probably 5 promoters knocking at the door, including the bare knuckle guys.
Oh, you'd actually consider doing a bare knuckle match?
Oh yeah, I thought about that too.
Yeah, but I think you'd bust
their money's just not there. I would walk through. The guy that is their champion now is an older MMA guy. I'd walk right through him.
Yeah, to me, it's like going. I don't think the money's really there with the bare knuckle, like what Don was saying there.
No.
It's the matches are very short lived because you can't get hit too many times with a bare knuckle, and
Well, it's more of breaking your hand and getting cuts. It's the gloves. Yeah. I mean, 10-ounce boxing gloves is probably less padding than an MMA glove sometimes. If you're using Reyes gloves, there's less padding in a Reyes than there is in an MMA glove.
Well, gloves are there to protect your hand, not the opponent's face, man.
I've already, you can't hit as hard without. I can hit harder with a glove than without.
Yeah, that's what they're designed for, so you can knock the shit out of somebody, without breaking your hand.
And it helps. It helps without, it helps from cutting people also.
Mm-hmm. That's prolonged the fight, so they have a longer fight. Bet more.
Yeah, I've considered bare knuckle also.
Wow.
When bare knuckle first started, I was ranked #1 contender and never fought a bare knuckle. I was #1 contender for about 6-8 months, but I never had a bare knuckle fight. When they first started, one of the organizations.
Then they figured out you were going to fight for him, huh?
Yeah, then they figured out I'm not going to fight for him. And then they said, well, let's just get some guys in there that's going to fight.
Yeah.
But back then, I mean, $5,000 was a huge payday back then for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a huge payday for a lot of people in the UFC, Bellator, and, it's not like they're giving that money away.
Don, what was your first payday for UFC?
For UFC, $500. $500.
That was your guarantee?
Yep, to walk through the cage, yeah, you get $500. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I gotta say mine was 1K.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have scales. They just asked you how much you weighed and took your word for it,
Yeah, my first boxing match wasn't a lot. But as soon as I signed with Top Rank, which was like like sign him with UFC. I'm sure you had fights prior to UFC.
Yeah, I didn't ask Severn how much I got paid for those.
Oh,
They're all
next to nothing.
nothing. They
Yeah.
never the checks in the mail still, Severn.
Oh wow.
There's the fights he got my manager's got me set up with,
Yeah, the fight game is different. It's the boxing, the MMA it's a different world. I was the highest paid 4-round boxer in history of boxing so far.
Good. You should have been. Hell, you gave a hell of a fight.
How are you able to commandeer like the 4 rounders? I mean, you just knew that was your magical number for you, or what? How were you able to work that?
Well, what happened was, originally in boxing, you start with 4, move up to 6, 8, 10, 12, yada, yada, right?
Okay.
Well, I'd had a couple fights with 4 rounds with Top Rank. Then I had 1 6-round fight, no problems. And then I was scheduled for an 8-round fight, and TV time cut it down to 4 rounds. And I went out and just blasted the guy. Next time, the same exact thing happened. So Bob Arum says, hell, he's knocking him out before that anyhow. He's the king of the 4-rounders. And it's stuck.
Nice. Well, again,
So, I mean, I was
nice.
making anywhere from 60 to 80,000 a fight, fighting 4 rounds. The main event sometimes making less money than I was.
Damn.
Nice.
And I'm the only 4-round main event in the history of boxing that I know of on a major pay-per-view.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, but how long were you involved in the MMA aspect there? No, because you went from doing tough man and the 4 rounders with boxing, but then you had also the stint with the MMA.
I probably fought MMA. I probably had 30 or 40 MMA fights altogether, which is a good bit for, what short time I was in it for, about 3 years, MMA. I was fighting weekly. I mean, sometimes weekly, sometimes 3 in a month.
Yeah. When a lot of these young guys hear about that now, and they're in a training camp for the next 6-8 months in preparation for that one match.
Yeah,
I match.
That was my training, is get in the ring, getting paid.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 years, I didn't even step in the gym. I was just fighting. And I beat Cabbage, not training. I beat James Thompson, knocked him out in the first round without training. So I said, hell, this is easy. I don't know why I trained any, but I was like 370 back at that time, almost 400 pounds.
Yeah, but you know how.
I remember my son looked at me. He looked at me and goes, Dad, how are you not breathing heavy? I know you hadn't been training. I said, I don't know. I just can't explain it.
Yeah,
just so relaxed.
It's second nature to you. Yeah.
That was it.
And
this fight coming, I'm training pretty heavy for it.
Thing is, you know how to throw a punch. Spread your
right.
leg, get down on it. Twist your hips. You got that. So it's second nature to you.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that for a big man there. I mean, Eric. I mean, the reality is the way that you can cork that whole body into it. When you rotate into it, you've got some power behind. Or even if you're hitting people with body shots, that body shot is enough to put most people down. So
I broke Cabbage's ribs. Yeah, he felt it. I got a great picture. His face tells it all in that picture. It's bad. I love hitting the body shots.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to recover from a good body shot.
Yeah, it does. I was a body man. Yeah. It's the way of money. That's the money maker,
Where Boss Rutan went for the kidneys, I just went for the ribs.
Mm-hmm.
No, liver shot is like brutal.
Yeah, brutal. It's like losing your breath 10,000 times. It'll
right.
Freeze you up, man. You just seize up and then you fall.
Yeah, when you can't breathe, it's bad.
Yeah. On a different note, there. At one time, you had a restaurant.
I still got it. I still have one.
Okay. That's still thriving. So again, I just all through COVID stuff that you just don't know what survived, what did not survive.
So, yeah, not a lot survived through COVID. I mean, we lost a lot of employees. We paid. The sad thing is, a lot of employees, we paid them their full salary while they didn't work. We were only shut down a week until we started doing like takeout. We deliver. We made it work. I mean, we worked. I mean, I basically let my son and my daughter take it over, so they're running it totally now. I'm not. I enjoy the food there, and that's about the most I do with it now.
Yeah, but it's cool. Is it still known as Beans?
Yeah, Mr. Beans. We got a lot of good memorabilia in there. I mean, you're in there, Dan. Don's
Well,
in
yeah.
there also. Both of y'all are in there.
What am I eating?
Well, we do have a bathroom section, Don. But
the Don Frye Memorial Toilet.
exactly. And that one, your pictures in it always stops up for some reason.
Yeah. Everywhere I go, baby. Everywhere I go. Leave my best.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, other than the fight right now, what other projects do you have in the works? What if people want to get in contact with you to book you for speaking engagements or
Yeah, a lot of people
appearances?
get a hold of me on Facebook. But I'm booked right now almost every weekend somewhere for the next year, pretty much.
Really? I
Matter of
mean,
fact,
do this all
next
yourself, or do you have people that do it for you?
I do all of it myself. I have a couple people that'll book something that only, like not on a regular basis. They'll call me, hey, you want to go do this? Hey, yeah, I'll do it, and I'll take care of them. But most of it I do myself. Matter of fact, next week I'll be in North Carolina shooting moonshiners.
Okay, okay. Now, what is that?
The show Moonshiners on Discovery.
Okay,
I'm
so that
I'm going up there to shoot an episode of that.
nice.
Well, you got to know how to make moonshine, so I figure I go to one of my buddies that do it for a living and have him show me how to make it. He had a bad motorcycle wreck, and I got Dallas them helping him with his recovery, which is going really good for a short time. His name's Josh Owens. He hit the wall doing 120 mile an hour in a race on a motorcycle.
Oh, he's lucky to be alive if he hits
He is,
that.
yeah, he broke his back, he broke his neck, he bruised his heart. He's got two cadaver knees. They were going to amputate the one leg, but his friends were there and said, no, you can't. He's got to make moonshine. So they saved it.
You stomping the corn like you stomping grapes.
Pretty much.
Wow.
I was touring his stills. He had two major stills, like 1,800-gallon stills. One of them's totally underground. Yeah, he's got the setup.
Well, how long are your speeches? Give a talk.
Well, I normally don't do a lot of speaking engagements. I do like sit down autograph signings, things like that. Normally I'll talk for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm also doing comedy on the side too, comedy shows.
Yeah.
I got one lined up in Kansas City coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty easy to do like Q&As. If someone brings you on in, Q&As are easy to do because people just ask you questions. It's a
Right.
simple deal, and then usually
no preparation.
you give them a story, or you answer the answer first, but typically triggers a story that goes into it. Then, but that's how I tend to do those.
Yeah, I'm same here. Or I'll just start telling different stories of my experiences and what I've done and like how I got to that point and what happened. Like I remember one time, I'm not gonna say what fighter called me, but I was in Japan. It was late. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. He calls me, Bean, I need you up in my room. He's breathing heavy. I'm like, I'm thinking something's wrong. Like somebody's trying to fight. I'm like getting clothes on him. What's going on? He goes, I can't satisfy my girlfriend. I need help. I'm like, dude, I'm going back to sleep. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I am not saying what fighter that was, but a really big tattooed guy. And I was really afraid of him hopping in behind me. So
Yeah.
you can guess. Just leave your imagination. But
Wow. Well, again, just for shits and giggles right now, tell people how in the world did you get the ring name Butterbeans?
well, there's two stories. The one is a BS story. Like I ate chicken and butter beans to lose weight for a tough man contest. That's what I told people because I was over the 400-pound weight limit and they wouldn't let me fight. Tough man had no weight limit, so it didn't matter. One time I fought a 600-pound guy and I hit him with a straight right. He fell straight down and his ankle popped through his skin.
Oh,
And he's like, man, I
Oh,
slipped and fell. He looks at me and goes, I slipped and fell. I think I hurt my knee, my leg. I look down. I go, yeah, you slipped. It was bad for you. Just a horrible slip.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't
Oof.
want to tell him I hit him and knocked him out and ripped
Yeah, yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
ankle apart for life. But yeah, I used to have gas real bad when I was working at the mobile home plant. My father-in-law had these MRIs, the meals that the government gives you to eat, but MREs, meals ready to eat. And they give you gas bad. Ottoman says not intended for pre-flight, and that's why. I would eat them for lunch because I had no money. I was just trying to save lunch money. And they give you horrible gas. And like I can run you out of a room, let me tell you. And one guy started saying, man, you've been eating them butter beans, you gotta quit. And it just stuck.
that's funny.
And that's how
See,
I
see,
got that's
see,
how I got
Don. I'm not the only person that's a little bit on the frugal side here. See, Don. Okay.
yeah,
it's actually healthy. It's a healthy reaction when you eat something to get rid of the gases from it. That's my story. I'm gonna stick to that one anyhow.
There you go. See, Don, next time I come over to do a podcast, I'm
yeah.
gonna make sure that I load up on all kinds of beans. Yes,
You're the healthiest
beans
person
and
I know, Dan.
sauerkraut. And, yeah.
You are the healthiest man.
See, let's see if I can curl that mustache on you there, Don. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing some TikToks, and I will be going. Me and my wife will go on a trip, and I'll let him rip in the car, and she'll be over there gagging. I'll video it. It makes a great TikTok, let me tell you.
I may have to look for a few of those now.
And then be in competition with him for money. You get paid, for so many hits, Severn.
There you go. I have made several of the guys at the plant throw up. So yeah, I mean, mine are pretty good. Then I got in a fight with one of the trainers at Dallas's house because I farted accidentally. You're doing yoga, it's gonna slip out. I don't care.
Right.
You stretching this right way, it's coming out. Oh, it was bad too. Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
wanted to fight
I've cleaned
you.
the room. I've cleaned the room out a couple times.
He wanted to fight you.
No, he didn't want nowhere near me after that.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like that's Eric's way of like the octopus. So he has the ink, and then Eric just got that
The
abdominal.
poisonous gas.
Yeah, there you
It
go.
works.
Skunk. Yeah.
If I could do it in the ring, I'd win every fight without even throwing a punch.
When I was a fireman in Santa Fe, New Mexico, we had a guy, Paul, called him Skunk because he just fucking fart on cue, fart on demand.
I'm not that good. I do have that problem though. I am a gassy guy.
Yeah.
My wife's over there. You think? Yeah, baby, I do.
Yeah. So if this fight net takes place, how far out are you projected right now? That if you can have your cake and eat it too,
2 to 3 months it'll happen.
really in 2 to 3 months,
Yeah,
that soon?
we're talking to the right people right now. So we're working on a real form right now to basically tell the storyline of what I accomplished coming from a wheelchair to walking and running and in the journey of me making my comeback. So
Oh,
I,
definitely. When you finally do get an actual date, please let us know, and we'll do an update,
definitely,
and we'll put that out there just so that we can get that many more people to watch it, because it will probably more likely it'll be some type of a pay-per-view.
definitely, yeah. The first fight that was offered to me with Tyson Fury's dad on one of his undercards, but there wasn't enough money in that fight to even think about it. I think Don froze. Nope, he was just sitting still.
I just watched the Severn and watching the dollar signs in Severn's eyes. How about Jake Paul? Did you get offered to fight Jake Paul yet?
Logan would be a great fight. Jake, I challenge, but he's too small. I mean, I have turds bigger than him.
Yeah. Well, he is a
But
turd.
Logan, I would love to fight Logan. Jake was a smart ass. He made a comment about me early in his career about something about me, and I didn't like it. So I would love to squash that little turd.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just beat his brother up just because he's his brother.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let him
You
come
might want to offer them a 2-for-1 special there, Bean. Come on. They'll keep being
I would let
creative there
them.
on this one.
I'm so confident right now coming back. I mean, I've never felt this good, like ready for a fight. I would fight both of them. I'd let them tag team in and out.
They can alternate rounds. Yeah.
Exactly. I'd let them do that.
Wow. Now that would be quite the spectacle right there. That would be wow. That would be
I
a
would do that.
phenomenal.
You know, George Foreman fought like 4 or 5 guys in one night. I would fight them both in the night.
Wow. I think that would get some. That would be some hellacious viewership because they are good at their craft of
Oh, without a
being
doubt. About running their mouth.
influencers.
Yep,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
dancing. That's a good idea, Bean. That's a real good idea.
no. It is. I mean, again, just as Escher, your financial advisor, I think that's a really great move right there, Bean. uh,
But yeah, I
well,
think we'll know something within the next month or so about who, when, where, and then it'll take probably 2 or 3 months after that to promote it correctly.
sure, yeah. You definitely, that's an opportunity that you'll get a once in a lifetime on a deal like that.
Well, when
So,
Jones fought Tyson, I received a call wanting to know if I was interested because Jones couldn't pass the physicals at the time about fighting Tyson, but I was in a wheelchair. I'm like, I actually thought about it then. I'm going, if I could just make it to the ring, that's all I would need. I could, but now I'm like, seriously, I'd love to fight Tyson because he don't have a chin for one, and he's got the balls. He'd come in close enough for me to hit him.
Well, you got no choice. His arms aren't this long, so
It might be.
well, hell.
But yeah, after Kevin McBride knocked him out, you know, he's been knocked out several times. I've never been really staggered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, you haven't been sat next to Dan Severn when he has gas. Yeah.
Could you imagine taking a car ride with me and Dan, both of us having
No,
gas? You'd be
no
dead.
way. No
we
way.
let Don sit right in the middle. They ain't there.
You couldn't pay me to get in that car. We'll get one of these transvestites to do that.
Oh no, I'll pass on that. The
They'd enjoy
Budweiser
smelling
Twins.
your all's ass. What do
So
you
you
think
look
about
good, Don.
Mark
How you
Coleman?
been doing?
What about Mark Coleman? He's getting into the celebrity boxing match.
Yeah, it's a little bigger than a Mark Coleman type thing. Mark, I seen Mark training. I mean, he's something with Conor McGregor. I mean, Conor, that fight will never happen for the simple fact that their weight class is too
Yeah,
far off, even for a
way.
celebrity fight.
Right.
I mean, Conor McGregor's the size of my left leg.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna see your left nut, but
Well, at one time, I did have a problem. My nut swelled up like that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's about how big he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fight will never happen. They're just trying to blow smoke up people falling for it. But and you know, Mark's a good friend of mine. Mark got me into MMA. He called me and said, "Butterbean, you ought to fight MMA." I go, "I'd love to." I got 20 promoters calling me the next day, and 2 weeks after that, I'm in Japan fighting Fujimoto.
Yeah. Shit.
But yeah, Mark's looking. I mean, he's actually clean. He's looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's what he's got a couple years of being sobriety and that underneath his belt
Yeah.
now. So I think he's got a new lease on life, and I think that's great for him.
His
You know,
carnivore
but
diet, I don't agree with the all just meat diet. I don't go for that, but I totally went gluten dairy free like Dallas, all free range stuff. I mean, I'm eating very healthy. I mean, I'm eating clean. So I'm dropping. I'll be down in another month and a half, 2 months. I'll be down 290.
man,
Yeah, I'm dropping. I'm like right at 300 right now, real
did you
close.
did you at least keep a pair of pants of like the all time high just so you could just just
That I
shoot?
got a belt. I got one of my belts. It's just like you can fit in it with me, Dan. Honestly, I'm not joking.
Wow.
Me and you could both fit in that belt.
Yeah, no, it's no, again, I'm really happy for you there, Rick. I mean, it's so you
All
gave
right, I'm
yourself
back.
you gave yourself a whole new lease on life there in terms of you've added years to your life and you've added quality of life to your years. So I mean, it's
Oh, without a doubt, I feel so healthy now. It's like even when I was fighting, I didn't feel this healthy. I didn't feel this good when I was fighting again.
well, again, when you're on the right type of diet, stuff like that, you actually have a little more energy, a little bit more invigorated there too. So I mean, I just tell it just through your voice and stuff like that this is not the same Butterbean I talked to a little while back because you're
Oh
in a whole
no, it's.
different place.
I mean,
Yeah.
people I see that I haven't seen in like a year. They're like, man, I didn't recognize you. I have people walk past me that I know well that didn't recognize me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, that's great. What about when you did the Jackass show? You knocked out Johnny Knoxville. How was that?
Yeah, I talked to. I did the Family Feud with him just recently,
Oh, him?
and I talked to Johnny. I said, "You want to rematch?" Johnny said, "No." He goes, "I had vertigo for like six weeks." He finally had to go to the doctors and get medicine. Every time he'd stand up, he'd get dizzy and throw up.
Well, there's anybody on the planet that deserves it, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. He goes, "Butterbean, I really want you to knock me out." I said, "All right." He goes, "That's when I got scared." He said, "When you agreed to do it so quick," he goes, "That's the only time I got nervous." He goes, "I've only been nervous out of all the movies 2 times, and going in there with you is one of them."
Gee.
Where are you?
My wife's looking for her cat.
There you are.
I bought her a new cat, so
Yeah.
There you go.
she's searching for him.
Yeah.
Well,
It's an awesome cat. It's a snow Bengal, or no, this is a charcoal Bengal.
Yeah.
It'll get up to almost 30 pounds.
Uh,
Cool cat.
Butterbean cat,
Exactly.
huh?
But they can eat. Let me tell you, them cats eat some serious. They put down some food.
Really? Shit. Well, that's a compliment coming from you, actually.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of funny since the whole weight loss and everything. I don't eat like I guess healthy food, like really healthy food, and it's a lot more expensive to eat healthy. People don't
Yeah.
realize it,
Yeah, it
but
is.
we
yeah.
don't. We save so much money because I'm not eating as much, and it's like I get full like quick. I mean, like it's insane how full I got to eat probably 6-7 times a day right now just to be able to where I don't get weak because I'm not eating much.
Wow. So you're basically almost like on a bodybuilder's type of diet plan. That
Without a doubt, yeah, and it's
Just
working.
to
I'm
make,
dropping weight, and before long, I'm really thinking I'm gonna hit because Dallas is more resistance strength. To build your muscles with resistance, and I'm starting to hit the weights and things like that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna gain a little bit of weight from muscle because our genetics, my family's genetics, my son is the same way. We start working out weights, we get big quick. Like in high school, my first time I tried to bench any weights, I couldn't bench 98 pounds. Within 3 months, I was benching 350.
dang.
And
wow.
I was doing reps of it. So we get strong quick. Our genetics is just my son was tested 10 times every year for steroid use, which he was totally not, but he was benching, I think he weighed like 190, he was benching 4 something. Yeah, they just didn't know how.
I mean, how old is your son now?
He just had his first boxing match. He destroyed the guy. How old is Caleb? 31.
31. He just had his first boxing match.
Well, he'd fought MMA prior, but he never really liked it. And I had him scheduled for 4 or 5 other matches, but as soon as they found out he was my son, they backed out. So he just had his first boxing match recently. And I've already had 4 or 5 big name promoters, people that work for Top Rank contact me asking questions about him. So, so I don't want him to fight because I got to have somebody running the restaurant.
Yeah, no, I get it there. Plus, also, I mean, you know the pros and
It's
cons of
it's
that fight
rough.
world. Yeah,
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, because I've got three sons myself, and I never really wanted them to follow in the footsteps of MMA or professional wrestling. They're just two dirty industries, and I unless you're going to be there with them, and
It's rough on the body. People don't realize how rough it is. I mean, I've abused my body bad. I mean, I'm finally taking care of it. And I mean, I'm a little late, but I've I've dropped I've saved at least 15 years on my life. I have so far.
yeah, no, you know, I just hearing you talk and stuff like that. I mean, you got so much more energy. Because I saw you a couple times at a couple of these signings. And I could tell you were not in a good place. You
Oh no,
know,
I was in a bad I was bad. I like I said, I got over 500 pounds for a while. Yeah, I was it's insane how far I've come.
no, that's again that speaks volumes right there. I'm really happy for you. Like I said, you're a good person that I've always got a kick out of your attitude there for just having the moxie just to try different things, you know. So
I'll try anything. I mean, I've fought almost every kind of combat sport there is, even sumo wrestling. I did a pro sumo wrestling in Japan even. So I've tried every kind of combat sport there is. So I mean, I'm except the slapping stuff. I haven't gotten. I don't see that as a sport yet, but I've been actually thinking about doing it. I mean,
really,
with my big body twist I could put in it, I would destroy them.
well, yeah, as long as you got first whack at them, I mean, it's just I hope that you knock them out. So there is
Oh
no
yeah, I don't see there be a second slap. I really don't.
yeah. It's I watch that and I'm thinking there is no defense, and that's kind of one of the funny things because you got Dana White that's promoting it, and he's like, we've made it really safe, and I'm thinking, safe? What is safe about that? You just basically got to go. Here's my chin.
Exactly, smack
You
me.
can't you can't shove that chin way back here. You got to put it out there. I mean, someone like me, I got like one of those Dudley Do Right chins. I'll get it clobbered left and right here right now.
Only thing I'd worry about is somebody hitting like over my ear and you'd blow out an eardrum instantly.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, no, I could definitely see that happening there too. I mean, that was actually some of my strategy when I was doing MMA was to simply cup their ear and do exactly that to affect
Yep,
their equilibrium, their sense of balance.
that does it.
So
That and lay 420 pounds on them on their neck. Yeah, that helps too. That was my strategy. Put all my weight on their neck. But my last MMA fight, I actually worked with Laborio at Top Team and and a few other people that I know real well in the MMA business, and I was able to submit Zulazino. So that was big for the last Pride show in Japan.
yeah, Pride was that was the place where they wanted to see Godzilla versus Mothra. That's for sure.
Exactly.
And the people turned out. Oh boy, did they turn out. It
Oh,
was a very
it was a great show. They put on a whole production.
Yeah, there'd never be another one that like that. Never.
Now I remember your fight with James Thompson. You two just stand in the corner just
Yeah.
banging each other. I'm like, man, I wish somebody would do that with me, but nobody would. That was a great fight between you two.
I was I busted up bad, man. I shouldn't have taken that fight. Busting up bad.
And I even told James, I said, maybe me and you'll lock up like you and Don did. He just smiled and said, that ain't happening.
What are
But
you
yeah, it's
what are you most proud of in your fighting career?
I mean, I was a fat kid that always got bullied on. I wasn't able to supposed to do stuff like that. Just proving people that I could do it. When I went 10 rounds with Larry Holmes. I lost the decision because Holmes was terrified of me run. But that was a big going 10 rounds in a fight is a long time.
Yeah,
Especially when you're in there with one of the top 5 of all times.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Great fighter.
Larry was older, but he still had an unbelievable jab.
Oh, he had the best jab of any heavyweight ever.
And it was my fault that he got really afraid of me because I think in the second round he made a straight right, and it was a good right. I mean, it was everything he had. I looked at him and smiled, and I goes, "That's the best you got." And after that, he run. I mean, like he was on his bicycle.
Yeah.
So that's my fault. I mean, I should have kept my mouth shut, but that's just not me. I don't have filters. If I see something, I'm gonna like there's this one real big kid that was at Dallas's house. He lost a ton of weight, and he left and went. He had to go into eating disorder rehab place. And I probably shouldn't talk about it, but he just aggravates me so much because he took somebody's spot that Dallas could have really helped.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he gains the weight just to get money on social media. People sending him money. And I went and made the comment. I've been blocked from his page. I can't even go on his page no more. Everybody giving him money left and right. He's probably making 30 to 60,000 a year just on gifts. People giving him money to help him lose his weight.
Yeah.
And he lost the weight. I think he gained it back on purpose just to beg for money.
Jeez.
And I made the comment. I told people, I go, if y'all would quit giving him money, he wouldn't be able to afford all that fast food he's buying. Oh, they blocked me in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So I don't have a filter. I tell you what's on my mind. But yeah, Dallas done, everybody that was in this show with me, Dallas done remarkable work with it. I mean, he can't babysit people afterwards. He hasn't had to babysit me. He even made a big impact in Buff Bagwell's, attitude and everything. So
DDP has done a lot of good things there for a number of people there that just like you said before, so a couple of these people they wouldn't even be around anymore if it wasn't for
no,
him reaching out to them and then taking them underneath their wing and giving them a new lease on life. So he's a definitely a good guy for doing those
he
kinds of
cares.
things.
He cares for people, and he don't expect anything back. He's not. I mean, like he don't. I mean, he didn't say, "Hey, Bean, help push my style." No, he ain't told me nothing like that. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm just so proud he helped me out. And Rick Baxman, a friend of mine, he told me to go to DDP probably 4 or 5 years prior to that, and I laughed at him. I said, "I'm not doing yoga. It ain't happening." I mean, 500-pound people don't do yoga. But buddy, I wish I would have started back then.
You got any regrets or anything you want to do differently?
I really don't have regrets. I mean, life's a learning experience. I believe that's how you learn.
Mm-hmm.
To make your little mistakes, and you move on, and you try to pass on to your kids, but they're not going to listen. They're going to learn for themselves too.
Right. You make their own mistakes.
Well, I mean, you can pass on your wisdom, whether or not they're going to heed it. That's
all. Yeah,
different.
they hear it. Believe me, they hear what little bit of wisdom I have. They hear it, but they don't always listen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I think everyone's goes through that same little aspect right there. It's each generation they always question their parents and what do they know, and especially with all the new opportunities. I mean, we live in this world right now where this is the newest device that most young people are so preoccupied by. You go into any shopping plaza or something like that, and just do a quick 360. Find that one person that does not physically have it in their hand.
Right.
They all have
my
it in their
son's like,
hand.
"Well, Dad, why would I want to listen to you? You don't even know how to forward a message." I'm not tech savvy. That's one thing I'm not. I am horrible at tech stuff. Like I couldn't copy a link and send it. I wouldn't know how.
Yeah, I'm horrible at it. I don't even.
I'm lucky to be on this right now. If you didn't make it so easy, just hit a button, I wouldn't be able to do the live feed. I couldn't do it.
Trust me, Bean. Don and I were not no rocket scientists, best by any means. It's having people like Tony and Brandon there that are able to, coax us along. Just click on the link. Take that little mouse right there. That's a mouse, okay?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I mean,
I was watching something on TV or computer. I think it was TV the other day, and my daughter walks in. It was a Rambo. It was a fucking Rambo movie. We were watching Rambo together, Rambo 2. And I go to the scene where that computer is just, it's wall to wall metal and and screens and all that. And she says, "What is that?" I said, "That used to be the computer. That's the first computer." I says, "Now you carry it around in your hand."
I remember our first VHS. I mean, her back when it was VHS and that the big disc. I don't remember what they call that, but
Real
I remember the size of them. They
Yeah.
were mammoth, and they were expensive back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, you're
Yeah, I'm old. I'm before a microwave. I tell my grandkids.
What was your toughest fight?
I've had a couple.
Yeah.
And it's always the real tough ones. I've detached both biceps. You know, both of them come with the detached biceps was the toughest. Because I ended up finishing the fight, winning them both, but it was tough
Oh yeah.
when your bicep pops off your arm and rolls up.
Yeah, it don't feel good at all.
The second time wasn't as concerning, but the first time I didn't know what it was. I just knew my arm wouldn't. I couldn't lift my arm, and it was like burning. But real fortunate to have a great doctor in Alabama. Dr. Andrews lived in, he's here in Birmingham, which is like
Yeah.
the sports doctor for everybody.
Yeah. He did one of my shoulders one time.
He's amazing. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I fought, I think 6 weeks after I detached my one bicep. 6 weeks later, I was back in the ring.
Yeah.
Because we started rehab that day. We was bending, straightening, twisting, everything that day.
Yeah, I saw Dr. Sontag up there at St. Joe's in Phoenix. I think it was in 2000 or 2001. You know, he fused my neck for me, and I was I was doing pro wrestling for New Japan, and I was back in the ring in 3 months. You know.
Yeah, it's the technology of how they do rehab and everything is just crazy now.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, my son tore and detached his bicep 2 weeks before he fought. I knew he was injured, but I didn't know how bad it was. But he's having surgery tomorrow on it. But he tore it prior to his fight, and he just when I watched him fight, you couldn't even tell it was injured.
Mm.
Really? I mean, you think
Yeah, it
that
was.
definitely would affect him in his performance.
It didn't even slow him down. I got it on my Facebook. If people want to go look at it on my Facebook or my TikTok, I got it on both them. But yeah, he just destroyed the guy. It was bad. He just went out there just like I used to, just no care. Just I never cared if I got hit or not. I just went at him.
Yeah.
I guess that's not a good strategy, but I didn't care. I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, I don't have a neck, so you weren't gonna hurt me.
Well, I gotta say, boy, Mr. Frye here has that same analogy that you had right there. I think I was between the three of us, I was the one that kind of was trying to protect the moneymaker,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so ugly anyhow. It didn't matter. I had nothing to protect. It didn't matter. My squished in nose just helped. It was improvement. But yeah, I just went at him. I didn't care. I mean, I fought a guy. What's his name? He just leg kicked me, just like Mike Bernardo.
No.
I took probably 15 direct leg kicks with me. Finally, he kicked me in the head, and I looked at him and told him, "Thank you." Hey, Lim, hold on one sec. Call this guy. Tell him I'll call him right back. It's the last call, the weight equipment guy for my equipment. But yeah, I actually he kicked me in the head and I go, "Thank you," and he was like stunned, like I just kicked you in the head and you're thanking me. Them leg kicks hurt, let me tell you.
Oh, they do. Yeah. Yeah. Bernardo's a good guy. I like him. He's a real good guy.
okay.
Yeah, I had to stay in Japan a week later because my legs swelled up so bad, and they
Yeah,
give me a
people.
huge. I lost that fight because I couldn't stand. I mean, honestly I took 15. Mike told me after, he goes, Bean, he goes, I have never kicked anybody that hard. He goes, I knew you didn't know how to check them, so I was killing your thigh. He goes, I could feel your bone. My legs swelled up so big I couldn't even put blue jeans on. I mean, and they were afraid for me flying with as big as it got.
Yeah, they might get you a hematoma or something like that. Yeah.
Right. But they give me a huge bonus after the fight. I'm counting. It wasn't like my full payday. I'm like, whoa, this ain't what we agree. And I was going off on him, but he goes, no, that's just bonus. I'm saying, I like you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, when they give you a $30,000 bonus, I'm like, yeah, I like you guys. He goes, you just kept getting up. We knew it hurt, but you kept getting up. I'm going, I like this even better. Sign me up next week. I'm coming back.
I never got a bonus. I think the two scumbags I had as my agents, they took the bonuses I had.
That could happen.
Yep. Never got a bonus for the Takayama fight or any others,
Wow.
against Shamrock. Yeah, so I think they put all that money in their fucking pocket.
But I never, who would imagine if you lose a fight, you get a bonus? But I just kept getting up, and they were just so. I mean, I gained such a big fan base by just giving it everything I got and not caring, But eventually, I just couldn't. I stood up. My leg was gone. I just couldn't stand. I mean, that's probably one of the most painful injuries I've ever had.
Well, that's what they told you in Pride. They said, we don't care whether you win or lose, as long as you give a good fight, you'll be back. But it was like the Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki fight. Inoki kicked him so many times. He was in the hospital for a couple of weeks.
Right.
Yeah, and he had to wait. He couldn't walk, but then he had to wait to fly out. Shit.
I think I fought Pride maybe 28 times, almost 30.
Really? Wow.
And within a 2-year period, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
God, you probably were the number one star, probably, weren't you, for that many times?
They had me. They would like a lot of the guys they wanted me to lose to, so they'd fly me in, fly me back home, call me, hey, you want to fight next week? I'm like, I was just there. So they would fly me like with the Bob Sapp. Sapp wouldn't fight me. He turned it down. They wanted me to fight Sapp, but Sapp wouldn't fight me. And me and Bob are good friends. I love Bob, but what Bob made sense. He goes, I'd rather get beat by a huge name in MMA than beat by a boxer.
I mean, well, you kind of touched on this a little bit there, but I mean, with all your years of experience right now, what are the things that, I mean, what kind of advice would you give to a young fighter trying to come up in your industry of boxing? Or, I mean, even go so far even as MMA as well. I mean, it's
the best advice I give to any fighter is make sure you're having fun doing it. Too many fighters out there right now are just worried about the money, the payday, and all that stress gets on. I mean, it gets on your shoulder, the stress of it. If because you gotta perform so good. If you're not performing this good, you're done. And boxing's worse than MMA. MMA, if you give everything you got, you're still a fighter people they want to see. But in boxing, it don't matter how good you are. If you lose the fight, they think you're done. So if you're having fun, when you're having fun, you're more relaxed. You perform better. So that's the biggest advice. In discipline's another thing. If you don't have discipline in that drive, you're not going to make it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I mean, I wasn't quite as crazy a schedule as what you were on, but I was doing a combination of professional wrestling, a couple times a month and a couple fights a month, and it's like going each weekend, just being gone. It's like waking up that morning and trying to figure out, okay, am I climbing into a professional wrestling ring tonight? Am I climbing into an actual cage tonight? It's what is my function tonight?
Yeah, I'm with you. It got tricky, especially not kicking somebody when you're going from boxing to MMA and then not trying to kick them. Cause I actually started throwing some pretty decent leg kicks.
Yeah. They did never expect that out of a big man. That's for sure. Wow.
And they frown upon it in boxing.
Yeah. Yeah. You just thought you thought it was kickboxing. Yeah. Not boxing. Yeah. Kickboxing. Yeah.
In one of the boxing matches, we tied up and I grabbed the guy and I took him down. I don't know why, but it was a boxing match. And I just picked him up, took him down. I mean, it's a great slam, but I mean, they didn't care for that too much either.
We need to have a little best of the bean type of little montage there.
I wish I'd have put some of the stuff. I mean, I looked at one of them it had like 4 billion views on one of my videos on YouTube. If I'd have put that, the money I would have made on that is insane.
Well, again, it's to me. I look at it's still you. It's not too late to use that same type of footage there. I mean, it's still you,
Right.
especially if you come back with this, for one more fight there. I mean,
Yeah,
that could all be part of that
I'm
buildup.
gonna definitely jump on the social media. I'm gonna hire me a social media guy just for that.
Yeah, because it'll pay for itself and then some. So
Oh, without a doubt. That's where the Paul brothers made their money, on YouTube.
yeah. Well, again, there's a lot of people there that are really capitalizing on in that social media sphere. It's
Yeah, it's
but
different. I'm just not there yet, but I'm working on it.
yeah. Well, again, you have to surround yourself with good people. Like you got some great stories that need to be shared. It's the hard part is make sure you got good, reliable, trustworthy type people in order to stick with it right there.
Right.
So, Mr. Frye, we see you're back. I mean, we got Eric. I'm not sure what kind of time frame you have right there, but
Well,
uh,
I need to make this call because I got some weight equipment I
I
just
understand
purchased.
that.
Calling in,
Do,
coming in.
let's do one last plug there for anyone that wants to try to reach you for any kind of bookings for whatever it is, speaking engagements, autograph signings. They can reach you at.
Well, I'm on Facebook, or I'll tell you what. It's let me give you a number. Give me the number, Lib. Y'all got the one number. You got the one number I don't want give out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a phone number. You can pop it on. You got it, Lib? It's 205
205
754
754
4542.
4542 205 754 4542. And this is
Yep,
just
that's my
a
other stuff.
business.
That's my company number.
Okay, a business line. Gotcha.
And then I get a lot of messages on Facebook, on private messenger. My TikTok I got a TikTok I just started doing. I got a lot of folks on there, but it's Butterbean King of 4.
Yeah, that's a good one there. Better being
And I
king of
I
four.
put some pretty good videos up there on there. You're in one of the videos with the little kid where he says, Jake Paul will beat you. I said, I'll crush you, kid. Well, I got some heat over that, threatening a little kid. Yeah. I'd squash that little bugger.
King of 4. All right. Well, Butterbean, I think we'll again just so you take care of this phone call right there. We'd really appreciate having you on there
Yeah, thank you for
tonight.
your time.
We'll do it again
And
soon.
we'll definitely we'll make sure that we put that up on the screen there for you so that if it hopefully it throws you some a little bit more business there in your
Awesome.
direction.
Appreciate it.
And when you do finally get a date for your next boxing event, I don't
Definitely
know if it's
let
going to be
y'all
your
know.
last one or
Definitely
not,
let
but
y'all know.
let us know, and we'd like to kind of break that news and just help get the social media platform moving in the right direction for you.
Appreciate
So,
it. Appreciate it.
all right there,
Thanks,
Hey,
Butterbean.
partner.
looking for. I think me and you're doing a thing pretty soon together. I think it's in Texas or Florida.
I'll say okay. I
No,
believe you.
you, Ken Shamrock, we're all together on
Oh
one
no,
kind of.
yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I remember. Okay, I did see that. It's about I just all I gotta do is remember what I'm doing today.
I'm. That's why I don't know when exactly where it's at, but I know it's coming up soon, so that people can look out for that too.
I have my what I call my
Hey,
my
it's next.
portable brain.
Oh, that's next weekend. I'll see you next weekend
Oh, okay.
in Florida. Yeah, in Florida. Yeah, you're supposed to be in Florida next weekend.
And you are correct. You are correct.
Yep.
I do know about next week of being in Florida. Okay.
I will see you there.
Sounds good. Thank you there, Butterbean. You have yourself a great evening.
Hey, y'all have a good one.
Thank
Okay.
you,
Hey,
sir.
bye, Don.
Bye now.
Have a great one, Don.
You too, sir. Bye. Thank you for watching another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity. You better like, subscribe, and share, or I'm going to come to your house.